Good evening, everyone. Observed every year on April 21, World Creativity and Innovation Day stands as a reminder that human progress has always been shaped not merely by knowledge but by imagination. From the earliest tools fashioned out of stone to the complexities of artificial intelligence, creativity has been the invisible force connecting ideas to impact. In a rapidly changing world defined by uncertainty, this day invites individuals, institutions, and nations to pause and reflect on how innovation can be harnessed not only for economic growth but also for social transformation and sustainable development.
Creativity, in its broadest sense, is the ability to generate ideas that are both novel and useful. Innovation, on the other hand, is the process of translating those ideas into tangible outcomes. Together, they form a continuum that drives societal evolution. Yet, in many parts of the world, education systems and workplaces often prioritize conformity over curiosity, routine over risk-taking. World Creativity and Innovation Day challenges this paradigm by advocating for environments where experimentation is encouraged and failure is seen not as a setback, but as a stepping stone.
Historically, some of the most transformative breakthroughs have emerged from moments of creative disruption. The Renaissance, for instance, was not merely an artistic movement but a cultural awakening that redefined science, philosophy, and human expression. Similarly, the Industrial Revolution introduced technological innovations that reshaped economies and societies. In the contemporary era, the digital revolution continues this trajectory, enabling unprecedented connectivity and access to information. However, the pace of change also raises critical questions about inclusivity, ethics, and sustainability, areas where creative thinking is indispensable.
In the context of India, creativity has long been embedded in its cultural fabric. From classical art forms and literature to indigenous knowledge systems, the country offers a rich tapestry of innovation rooted in tradition. Today, this legacy finds new expression in sectors such as technology, design, and entrepreneurship. Startups across cities like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Kochi are leveraging creative solutions to address challenges in healthcare, education, and agriculture. Initiatives like Atal Tinkering Labs and the National Innovation Foundation further underscore the importance of nurturing young minds to think beyond conventional boundaries.
Kerala, in particular, presents an interesting case study. Known for its high literacy rates and strong social indicators, the state has increasingly focused on fostering a culture of innovation. Programs that integrate art, science, and technology in education are gaining traction, while institutions are encouraging interdisciplinary learning. The rise of digital media and content creation has also opened new avenues for creative expression among the youth, transforming hobbies into viable careers.
Globally, industries are recognizing that creativity is not just an asset but a necessity. In the corporate world, companies that prioritize innovation tend to outperform their competitors. This is evident in the success of organizations that invest in research and development, design thinking, and collaborative work environments. The shift towards remote work and digital platforms accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic has further highlighted the need for adaptive and creative problem-solving skills.
At the same time, the intersection of creativity and technology is redefining the boundaries of what is possible. Artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and blockchain are not just tools, but platforms for innovation. Artists are using AI to create new forms of visual and musical expression, while scientists are employing creative approaches to tackle complex problems such as climate change and disease prevention. However, this convergence also necessitates a deeper understanding of ethical considerations, including data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the impact of automation on employment.
Education plays a pivotal role in cultivating creativity. Traditional models that emphasize rote learning are increasingly being challenged by approaches that prioritize critical thinking, collaboration, and experiential learning. Project-based education Makerspaces and interdisciplinary curricula are becoming more prevalent, encouraging students to explore, experiment, and innovate. Teachers, too, are evolving from being mere transmitters of knowledge to facilitators of learning, guiding students to ask questions and seek solutions.
World Creativity and Innovation Day also brings attention to the importance of cultural diversity in fostering innovation. Different perspectives and experiences enrich the creative process, leading to more holistic and inclusive solutions. In a globalized world, collaboration across borders and disciplines is essential. Initiatives that promote cultural exchange, such as international residencies and cross cultural projects, play a crucial role in this regard.
The role of policymakers cannot be overlooked. Governments have the responsibility to create ecosystems that support creativity and innovation. This includes investing in education, infrastructure, and research, as well as providing incentives for startups and small businesses. Intellectual property rights, access to funding, and regulatory frameworks are all critical components of an innovation-friendly environment. Countries that prioritize these aspects are better positioned to navigate the complexities of the modern world.
Another significant aspect of creativity is its potential to address social challenges. Social innovation, which involves developing new strategies to meet societal needs, is gaining prominence. From affordable healthcare solutions to sustainable agriculture practices, creative approaches are making a tangible difference in people's lives. Nonprofit organizations, social enterprises, and community groups are at the forefront of this movement, demonstrating that innovation is not confined to profit-driven ventures.
Environmental sustainability is perhaps one of the most pressing issues of our time, and creativity is key to finding viable solutions. Renewable energy technologies, waste management systems, and sustainable design practices all rely on innovative thinking. World Creativity and Innovation Day serves as a reminder that addressing climate change requires not just scientific expertise but also imaginative approaches that consider social, economic, and cultural dimensions.
The creative economy itself is a growing sector, contributing significantly to global GDP and employment. Industries such as film, music, fashion, and digital content are not only sources of entertainment, but also drivers of economic growth. In India, the expansion of OTT platforms and the global popularity of regional content highlight the potential of the creative sector. Supporting artists and creators through fair compensation, access to platforms, and protection of rights is essential for sustaining this growth.
On an individual level, embracing creativity can lead to personal fulfillment and resilience. Engaging in creative activities, whether it is writing, painting, coding, or problem solving, enhances cognitive abilities and emotional well-being. In times of stress or uncertainty, creativity provides an outlet for expression and a means of coping. Encouraging individuals to explore their creative potential can have far-reaching benefits for society as a whole.
Despite its importance, creativity often faces barriers. Fear of failure, lack of resources, and rigid structures can stifle innovation. Overcoming these challenges requires a shift in mindset, where curiosity is valued, diversity is embraced, and experimentation is encouraged. Organizations and institutions must create safe spaces for idea generation and provide the necessary support for implementation.
World Creativity and Innovation Day is not merely a symbolic observance, but a call to action. It urges stakeholders at all levels to recognize the transformative power of creativity and to integrate it into their practices. Whether it is a teacher designing a more engaging lesson plan, a student developing a novel solution to a problem, or a policymaker crafting forward-looking strategies, every act of creativity contributes to a larger narrative of progress.
As the world grapples with complex challenges, from pandemics and climate change to economic inequality and technological disruption, the need for creative and innovative solutions has never been greater. This day serves as a reminder that the answers we seek may not always lie in existing frameworks, but in our ability to think differently and act boldly.
In essence, World Creativity and Innovation Day celebrates the human spirit, the capacity to imagine, to create, and to transform. It is an invitation to look beyond limitations and to envision possibilities. In doing so, it reinforces a simple yet profound truth that creativity is not just about making things, it is about making things better.
As April 21 comes around each year, the message resonates with renewed urgency. In classrooms, studios, laboratories, and communities across the globe, individuals are reminded that their ideas matter. That innovation is not the domain of a few, but the responsibility of many, and that through collective creativity, a more inclusive, sustainable, and hopeful future can be built.
Thank you to everyone who joined the webinar today. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring, and we look forward to continuing the conversation in future sessions. If any of you have any questions, you can type them in the comment box.
Why is innovation so important in this generation? Alina has asked this question.
Elena's question gets right to the heart of how the world is changing. Innovation isn't just important today, it's essential because the pace, scale, and complexity of challenges this generation faces are unlike anything before. First, the world is evolving faster than ever. Technologies like artificial intelligence, automation, and digital platforms are constantly reshaping how we live, learn, and work. What was relevant 5 years ago can quickly become outdated. Innovation helps individuals and societies adapt to this rapid change rather than fall behind. Second, many of today's problems are deeply complex. Issues such as climate change, public health crises, and economic inequality cannot be solved with traditional thinking alone. They require fresh ideas, creative problem solving, and new approaches. Innovation allows people to look at old problems from new angles and develop more effective, sustainable solutions. Another reason innovation matters is opportunity. This generation has access to tools and platforms that previous generations could only imagine. A student with a smartphone can start a business, create content, or build a global audience. Innovation empowers young people to turn ideas into real impact, whether in technology, art, social change, or entrepreneurship. Innovation is also closely linked to employability. The jobs of the future will demand skills like critical thinking, creativity, adaptability, and collaboration. Routine tasks are increasingly being automated. So the ability to innovate, whether by improving a process or creating something new, becomes a key advantage in any career. There's also a cultural dimension. Innovation encourages questioning, curiosity, and experimentation. It builds confidence to challenge norms and imagine alternatives. This mindset is crucial in a world where rigid thinking can limit progress. At the same time, innovation isn't only about big inventions or groundbreaking technology. It can be simple, finding a better way to study, communicate, or solve a local problem. Small innovations, when multiplied across communities, can lead to significant change. In essence, innovation matters in this generation because it is the bridge between challenges and solutions, between ideas and impact. Without it, progress slows. With it, individuals like Alina and others of her generation have the power to shape a better, smarter, and more inclusive future.
How does artificial intelligence impact creativity? Dr. Prasad has asked this question.
Dr. Prasad's question touches on one of the most debated shifts in today's creative landscape. Artificial intelligence is not replacing creativity, but it is transforming how creativity is expressed, expanded, and even understood. At its core, AI changes creativity by becoming a collaborator rather than just a tool. Traditionally, creativity was seen as a purely human ability rooted in imagination, emotion, and experience. Now, AI systems can generate images, write text, compose music, and even assist in filmmaking. This doesn't eliminate human creativity. Instead, it introduces a new kind of partnership where humans guide intent and machines accelerate execution. One of the biggest impacts of AI is speed and accessibility. Tasks that once took hours or days, designing a visual, editing a video, brainstorming ideas, can now be done in minutes. This lowers the barrier to entry, allowing more people to participate in creative fields. Someone without formal training can experiment with design, storytelling, or music production. In that sense, AI is democratizing creativity. AI also expands the idea generation process. It can suggest combinations, patterns, and directions that a human might not immediately think of. For writers, it can offer plot variations; for designers, new visual styles; for musicians, unexpected compositions. This can push creators out of their comfort zones and lead to more diverse and experimental outcomes. However, this shift also raises important concerns. One is originality. If AI is trained on existing human created data, where does authorship lie? Creators are increasingly asking whether AI generated work is truly original or a remix of past creations. This challenges long standing notions of ownership and intellectual property. Another concern is over reliance. If creators depend too heavily on AI, there is a risk of creative homogenization, where outputs start to look or feel similar because they are generated from similar datasets and algorithms. The human element, emotion, cultural context, lived experience remains crucial in keeping creativity authentic and meaningful. AI also changes the role of the creator. Instead of being only a maker, the creator becomes a curator, director, and editor, someone who guides the AI, refines outputs, and adds personal depth. Creativity shifts from creating from scratch to shaping and interpreting possibilities. Importantly, AI cannot replicate human intention or emotional depth in the same way people experience it. A poem generated by AI may follow structure and style, but the meaning we attach to art often comes from human context, memories, struggles, identity, and culture. That layer still belongs to human creators. In education and professional spaces, this means creativity itself is being redefined. It is no longer just about producing something new, but about asking the right questions, giving the right prompts, and making thoughtful choices about what to keep, modify, or discard. In essence, artificial intelligence is not diminishing creativity, it is reshaping it. It acts as an amplifier, a catalyst, and sometimes even a challenger. The real impact depends on how humans choose to use it. If used thoughtfully, AI can enhance creative potential, making it more inclusive, experimental, and dynamic. If used passively, it risks reducing creativity to automated output. So, the future of creativity is not human versus machine, it is human with machine. And in that collaboration, the human role becomes even more important, not less.
As we come to the end of this session, I would like to sincerely thank each one of you for being a part of this webinar. Your presence, questions, and active participation made today's discussion truly engaging and meaningful. We explored important ideas around creativity, innovation, and the evolving role of technology, and it is your curiosity and openness that brought these conversations to life. I hope the insights shared today will inspire you to think differently, experiment boldly, and continue learning. A special thanks to our speakers and organizers for making this session possible. We look forward to seeing you again in our future programs. Until then, keep creating, keep innovating, and stay inspired. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful day ahead.